Okay, hi guys. My name is Guerda, Pierre. Today we're going to um I'm going to show you guys how to sew on buttons on a shirt, a dress, jacket, whatever the case may be. So we have different buttons. This is one of my favorite. This is like a flower shaped button with all the designs in it. And this is buttons come in different sizes and different measurements and stuff like that. So this one is a 2-hole button, this one is a 4-hole, and this one is a shank button where it's actually the hole is on the back but it doesn't stay flat. These are flat buttons and these are shank, and you actually see it doesn't stay flat, but when you put it on a shirt or a dress, a blouse, it stays flat. And these are clear buttons where you actually, when you wear it goes on the inside, let's say, of a jacket, a shirt, and so forth. Okay, so I'm going to start with, I'm going to use first what you're going to need. You're going to need needle, hand sewing needle. You're going to need threads. I'm going to use different colored threads so you guys can see the difference. But if you, the color of the fabric and the color of the button should match the color of the thread. Okay, bear that in mind. All right, so I'm using a different color thread just to show you guys the you know, clearly what's gonna happen. Okay, I'm gonna use a 2-hole button, a flat 2-hole button. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna place it, let's say my opening usually is about 1 inch. Okay, so you place the button like 1/2 inch away from the edge. Okay, and then you also need, one of the things you really need to do is you need to take measurements. Let's say this is the top of my shirt and this is the seam allowance. So I'm gonna do, let's say I want to do them 2.5 inches away from each other. So it's 1 inch, 2 inches, 2.5. So I'm gonna place a pin, and I'm gonna do another 2.5. It could be 3.5 depending. 1, 2, 2.5, and I'm gonna place another pin right there. Okay, and if I do, okay, I can do 3, and then as you go along, depending on how many buttons you want to place, you just place it down. Make sure you don't place the button all the way down, all the way at the edge. Usually I kind of leave like a good 3-4 inches down the so that way it flips over open. All right, so now I'm going to start. Let's say I'm going to place the needle. So I'm going to use this size of button. So as you can see, so I'm going to make sure the edge of the outside is like a 1/2 inch away from the center, the edge of so I'm going to remove the pin because I want to make me a little bit more comfortable. Insert the needle from the back. Okay, then since this one has two holes, I'm going to reinsert the needle and pull it through the back. Just hold on to it and then reinsert it from the back to the front. Once again, the same steps. Okay, that's 2. So I usually do 4 to 5 strokes and try to keep, sometimes if you do it too fast or if your thread is too long, it tends to, okay, so now you see this is 3. It's still, I'm gonna do 2 more. Make sure you actually insert the needle. The button is secure enough so I can actually see what I'm doing and actually place it in, pull it out, and push it back in. This is 4. One thing I don't like to see is after a couple of wear of a blouse or a shirt, the button is coming off. So I like to do it 5 strokes just to give it a more secure tightness. Now I'm not going to cut the thread just now. I'm going to insert the needle through the fabric underneath the button. See, underneath the button, very close, you see it? And then I'll pull the needle, and I'm going to go around with the thread, that way to give it some, see, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4, just to kind of give it, well, I give it more than 4. See, so that way it have that excess thread to give it a strength and volume, for the simple fact that so if it's a heavy, so that way there's whatever's going to be around the other side of the shirt is going to be going in, so it's not going to be, you're not going to force it, you're giving it enough. So what I'll do, I'll just see, this is it, and then place the needle inside. I'm not touching outside anymore. I'm just going to go place the, sew it, and then tack it. I can tack it twice just to make sure nothing is going to come off. Tack it twice, and then give it a knot, you see. And once I do that, I'm going to insert the needle through the back, and I can easily cut the thread right now, but what I like to do, I don't want the end to show, the end of the thread to show, so I'm going to go in between the fabric, in between, you see, you can't see it, in between, and then I can either pull it because it's strong enough, or you can cut it. I suggest to cut it just to be on the safe side, okay? And then I'm going to give my thread another knot again for the next button, and there you go. See, now if you were to do a coat, you can do a little bit more, just to have, because fabric coats are heavy, just give it enough room, so when you button it, it has enough room. Okay, there you go. This is this. And you do the same thing for the other 4. So once again, this time is 4. So I'm going to do the same thing. So place it like a good 1/2 inch, 3/8 away from the edge of the fabric. So I'm going to go from 1, going back out, and I can cross it, but I'll just go to the 3rd hole and place it in, and then I'm going to repeat the same steps on this side. Okay, repeat it. So right now this is my 2nd stroke, and I'm going to do another, this is my 3rd stroke on one side, and this is the same. Okay, so they kind of look, yeah, so I can do another one. So like I said, I don't like my buttons to fall off, and I'm going to repeat the same procedure through the back. So I'm going to place my needle underneath the button and hold it and go around 1, 2, 3, I can do 4. Okay, and you don't have to pull it too tight, just enough room. And then I'll just insert the needle with the inside, so that way it doesn't, I'm not touching the outside anymore, the surface of the button. Okay, and I'm going to give it a second stitch, and then I'm going to place the needle inside of the loop. See, once I get closer, place the needle inside of the loop and then tie it. I can do a second one again just to be on the safe side. That way your button, I'm not, you know, it's gonna stay secure for a long time. Once again, the loop, place it and pull. Insert it inside of the loop, and then what you do, you just go out through the back. Okay, and for me to remove the needle in the thread, so I'm going to go inside. See, it's not showing anywhere, and we just okay, take your time, and then just cut it. Or I could have just pulled it too, but I like to cut it that way nothing gets pulled too much. See?